I'm Ian Baker, and today we're going to go over the 2020 Sonic 211 VDB. This is a pretty cool floor plan. You have the slide here with both the dinette and the fridge. In the back, you have very large bunks, which are great because it's perfect for adults. If you have older kids like teenagers, plenty of space for them. As you can see, because the slide out, it's nice and open, and up front, you get a versatile Murphy bed. If you take a look over at the kitchen, a couple things you'll notice. One is the countertop itself. You'll see that they went with a thermofoil countertop rather than a T-mold, so that way you don't have, the trim popping off the edge here. Also, it allows you to undermount the sink, which gives you a much cleaner look, as you can see here. This one does have your single stainless steel bowl. As I mentioned, it is undermounted. It's bigger, so you can fit some larger pots and pans in here. Also, a high-rise faucet, making washing those dishes just a little bit easier. Over to the side is a recessed 3-burner cooktop with the glass cover. That way you can utilize this as prep space. Fold this up and back just like so. This, of course, does double as a backsplash. You'll also see the decorative one there, which is kind of nice. I think they did a good job. And then you have 3 burners, obviously, on the cooktop, the front one being high output. You'll see the knobs do light up. You, of course, can turn that off if you so choose. Just bear in mind that this little button here does control the light inside your oven as well. So if you want a light, there it is. Turn it off, good to go. Over to the side here, underneath the sink, you'll see some storage right there. Not a ton, but you get a little bit. Also plumbing access. 2 full extension ball bearing drawers that we have plenty of space for your flatware, as well as all your other items like your hot pads, some of your larger utensils, your kitchen towels, things like that. Built into the side, this is kind of cool. You'll actually see this hinge right here. So if you open that up, look at that. You get a little bit of extra storage. So this is kind of a cool spot to plug in your cell phone so it's out of the way, not cluttering up your countertop. You'll also see your control panel located in there as well. And then you have this decorative glass, which is pretty nice. Open that up, you'll see, again, big storage. Just kind of wanted to show you, give you an idea of how big that storage area is. That's great in a smaller travel trailer like this. A kind of mid-sized travel trailer, I guess. You will see your microwave there. Directly underneath that is your hood with both a light and a fan. I also do want to mention underneath the oven is your direct vent furnace, which in an RV this size does a great job of keeping you nice and toasty. On the opposite end of the spectrum, if you need to cool down and the windows aren't cutting it, you do have the roof-mounted AC. Controls for that are right on the AC unit itself. Over to the side here is the bathroom. Now, I will mention, this is a pretty narrow doorway. You kind of have to, go in here sideways. If you try to go in, this way, just not going to work. So you kind of shimmy on in here, take a seat. As far as space, so it is a little tight. There's the cutout here for my right arm, which is great. My left arm rubbing a little bit. Same thing, I'm 6 foot tall. You can see that my toes are right up to that. I can pull them back a little bit. But if you're a taller person or a larger person, again, this bathroom will be a little tight for you. One of the things that I do love that I think they nailed, that's a porcelain bowl. That's pretty uncommon, especially in lighter weight RVs. Generally, they go with plastic. That's one of the first things, in travel trailers that I would personally switch out. I'd make sure, if it doesn't have a power tongue jack, I'd add one. And if it's a plastic bowl, I'd switch to porcelain. Why? Because in my opinion, the little bit added weight is worth it. They're so much easier to clean. They look a lot nicer for longer. Just 100% worth it in my book. Over to the side, a little bit of a countertop extension there. Big storage area. I like this because without having a shelf here, you actually have enough room for a trash can, which I like having a trash can in the bathroom. And then you get a little bit of plumbing access, well, a little bit of storage there. You can probably fit a roll of toilet paper or 2, some black tank chemicals in there. You also have the mirrored medicine cabinet, so as you can see, you can stick some chemicals and stuff up there too. Right up on the ceiling, you will see the vent fan, LED light. Also, you have the skylight here. And when I take a step in here, look at this, folks. I'm 6 foot tall. I have a ton of space. With that skylight, I can be, probably 6'3", and maybe even 6'4", maybe, right in the center, and still not have to duck down to shower in here, which is fantastic. Of course, your hand wand, couple shelves. There's antifreeze all over the floor. I'm going to try not to step in that too much. Makes the bottom of my shoes sticky. And then if we come out, a couple things here. So this is the thermostat. This will just be for the heat. As I mentioned, for the AC, they're on the AC unit itself. This one also has the Level Mate Pro. This is an awesome system. Basically, you connect this to your smartphone. You have to download an app, and this will help you level out your travel trailer. You can see right on your phone, it'll show you when your travel trailer is level. So that way, as you're backing up into the campsite, you can find like the most level spot of the campsite. you know, put your blocks there, and you know before you basically get out of your vehicle that you are nice and level. You don't have to keep getting out, putting a level in the fridge, making sure it's all good. You can do it right there from the vehicle. Just have another person, you know, put another block in or whatever. Just much, much simpler. And then in the very back, you have two very large bunks. You can see the size here. I'll hop in this bottom one for you, just to kind of show you an idea. So there we are. So again, I'm 6 foot tall. You can see, you know, if I have a pillow here, how much space I have down at my feet. You can be, you know, probably 6'1" and still be able to completely stretch out here in a bunk, which is awesome. Generally, you cannot do that in bunks. Usually 6 foot is like right at the max, but these are nice and big. They're wide, you know, so if you want to have 2 people in here, you can do that. You have a light in both the top and bottom, window there as well. And then right outside will be kind of like your entertainment system. So you'll see the multimedia center right here. You'll see this unit is Bluetooth capable, which is fantastic. You'll also see it has an HDMI input. So if you need to hook up some auxiliary equipment, you can do that. TV located here underneath. We'll open this up. You have some storage there. It is also worth mentioning, you know, I know a lot of manufacturers are doing this and I always forget to mention it, but this one is Wi-Fi ready. So if you want Wi-Fi, you do have the capability of doing that. And then if you take a look underneath, you'll see more storage here, electrical outlet, as well as your fuse panel. Along with that Wi-Fi, just so you know, any RV that is Wi-Fi ready, you still have to have a cellular plan, right? That's what they're using. So I understand why manufacturers are doing it. For me, I have Verizon. I've been pretty happy with my cell phone carrier. So pretty much anywhere I go, I just use a hotspot on my phone and it tends to work when I'm camping for the most part. You know, if you have a cell phone carrier, maybe that's not the case. I could see where maybe this would come in. But again, for me, hotspot does the trick. Let's talk about our slide out. So the slide out here does contain both the dinette as well as the fridge, and of course affords you all of this wonderful space. You also, I like the seating. I'll mention that. You kind of like this basket weave, kind of a cool look in there, you know, something you don't see a ton of. When I slide in here, you have a ton of room in this dinette, right? I mean, you can very easily sit 4 people in this dinette. If it's, you know, you and maybe like 2 smaller children, you might be able to fit 3 on each side. It's a big dinette. You don't get that a ton. So I do like having, you know, all the space here. Also, this does drop down into a bed. Again, it's a pretty short bed. It's nothing huge, but if you have like a pack and play or something, you want to kind of get out of the main walkway, you can put that up there. Also, it's great as a bed for some smaller kids. And you see the easy access storage on both sides. Just swing that door open. And then the fridge, pretty run-of-the-mill here. Norcold fridge freezer combo. Unit does run off both propane and electric and has automatic switchover. Last thing is right up front, and this is generally kind of like the make it or break it moment for people, which is the Murphy bed. You know, the great thing about a Murphy bed, the reason you have one is the extra seating, folks. As you can see, when the bed's put away, it gives you this sofa right here. So this, in a travel trailer this size, I like the Murphy bed because otherwise, without this, the only place you have to sit is a dinette. And sure, dinettes are great, but sometimes I just want to, you know, kind of kick back and relax. I want another place to sit. Maybe people are still eating, right? The kids are, you know, my kids take forever to eat. So I'm done way before them. So maybe I want to sit somewhere else besides just the dinette. So I like it for that aspect. Is it take a little more work to make the bed? Sure. Let's go ahead and take a look and see how that is done. So first off, this bottom part is a Jackknife Sofa. You can see that here. In case you're wondering, this cushion is for that tabletop. As I said, that dinette does drop down. That's the cushion you'll use on top of the table to make that. But you have a perfect storage space for it, and because it is a Jackknife, you have lots of storage underneath there. Drop that down just like so. Undo the lock. We'll fold this out like that. And then take this, and there you go. Now you have your bed. Now obviously, you know, you'll have to make it, put the pillows on it, stuff like that. But again, it really doesn't take that long, and it's still pretty comfortable. I mean, there is not such thing as an RV bed that's super comfortable unless you buy one third party, right? Manufacturers just don't make them, and honestly, what I find comfortable, my wife doesn't. So, you know, that's how much it varies. But again, in this floor plan, I think it is worth it. You will see on both sides, you have electrical outlet on the one, USB on the other. There's also cubby holes in the back, which is kind of nice. So it gives you a spot to put your cell phone. It's still right next to you if you have to answer it at night. You'll see your wardrobes. It's a nice full length wardrobe. Because they have the storage in the back, right? They don't have to put the nightstand here. So you get that full-length wardrobe, allowing you to have some longer items in there without pooling on the ground underneath. You'll also see the storage up top, has the struts on there, easy one-hand operation. With the slide closed in the 211, you do have full access to the fridge and freezer. Also, you have full access to the Murphy bed up front. However, as you can see, the bathroom will be closed off. Now that we've seen the inside, let's take a look at some of the outside features on the 2020 Sonic 211 VDB. Up front is a power tongue jack, making it nice and easy to hook up and disconnect from your tow vehicle, a light in case you're hooking up at night, and manual override in the rare event it fails, so you're not stuck out at a campsite. Two 20-pound propane tanks with a cover, rails for your battery, and this one comes with a battery disconnect. So that way when you're not using it, you can just flip that switch. That will kill all power to the RV so it doesn't have that small drain on the battery. You'll also see the diamond edge plating up front, helping to protect that front end from rocks and debris that may get thrown up by your tow vehicle. And above that is one-piece fiberglass from the front all the way up over top and down the back. Big advantage of that is the fact that you have less seams, and less seams, less holes in your roof means less chance for water penetration, which is a great thing. Nobody wants water in their RV. Also, because of the curved line of the roof, the water naturally wants to run to the front and the back of the RV instead of down on your campsite. The one downfall of having the one-piece fiberglass roof is that it makes it so it's not a fully walkable roof. So you will want to make sure you bring a ladder with you so that way you can clear anything off the top. You will see the large power awning. Take a look at that. That's big for this size unit. Touch a button to roll it out. Same thing to have it go right back in. LED light strip on there will work in any position that the awning is in, which is wonderful. The front storage compartment, I'll open this up for you. You will see that this one has the covered hinge, magnetic catch on there. It's also a slam latch baggage door. Now this one is one of the plastic component ones, so a lot of times you kind of have to close it with a little bit of force because it doesn't have the weight to close on its own. But if you take a look in there, you will see that it is a large pass-through, folks. Again, a camper this size actually has normally doesn't have a ton of storage. That's not the case with the 211. You'll see that you have big storage here. When we go around to the back, you'll see big storage back there too, which is fantastic. Making our way back a little further, you have the MORryde step above it step system. I personally prefer these over the pull-out steps. Main reason being, they are very sturdy. You know, take a look at that. I mean, I'm over 200 pounds. Your standard pull-out steps over time will kind of start to get that springboard effect as you're walking up and down on them. You won't get that with this. You have the adjustable feet so you can adjust it to your campsite. You'll see the aluminum treads, which aren't going to rust, the grip tape for a little bit of added traction there. Larger grab handle, so that way you have that control when entering or exiting the RV as well. You also have this little guy, which is not just decorative, it's also a bottle opener. That comes in handy, especially for a guy like me. A couple of things I do want to point out with the stickers they have on here. The first one is what they call the weather shield. Basically what that is the fact that this one has a fully enclosed, insulated, and heated underbelly. So as long as you're running the furnace, it is heating that underbelly underneath. Of course, because it is enclosed and insulated, it'll help keep out road grime, hopefully some of the critters in the off season as well. It also shows that this one has the key-alike system. If you take a look right here, this keyhole is the same as the keyhole on the back. The cool thing about that though is that it is unique to this RV. For the longest time, RVs use the same key. It's what they call a 751 key. And one of them that would work on your RV would work on the person's RV next door, and the RV next door. All that one single key would open all the baggage compartments. So what's the point of a lock, right? It's not really safe. With the key-alike system, that key is unique to you. So all of your outside compartments are locked and safe. You'll see fresh tank fill is here on the camp side. So if you're going somewhere you don't have city water, you'll definitely want to fill that and make sure you have water. Take a look down below, beautiful aluminum alloy wheels there. That way they'll stay looking beautiful for years to come. A couple speakers up top. Those are connected to the multimedia center inside. Great thing about that, though, is it's Bluetooth capable. So that way it can be right out here on your smartphone and be able to somewhat control the music. If we take a look at the outside kitchen, outside entertainment center, whatever you want to call it, storage area, this is pretty cool. So what they did is they added this rack system in here. So if you're not a big outside TV person, this is still usable. You know, you have a spot for maybe some of your grilling utensils here. You got the little tray. You have a spot for your paper towel, a couple other things you can hang there. I think this is really cool. If you do want a TV, they put a backer in there. You know where to mount it. They have the connections here on the side, right down underneath. fridge. Yeah, I can fit a few beverages in there, some condiments as well. Big storage area there, and the pull-out, a little dirty, but pull-out 2-burner cooktop here. So that way, if you want to do some cooking, you can do that out here as well. And again, I do like that big storage area. I could definitely be able to utilize that. Coming around to the back, square tubular bumper with end caps gives you a spot to store your sewer hose. You have the tire mounted to that, which is very convenient, very easy to access. As I mentioned, this is that same one-piece fiberglass up on the roof and up to the front. You'll see the backup camera prep. So if you want backup camera, having the prep makes it easier to install, meaning it'll save you money on labor. And one of my favorite parts about this camper, folks, is this right here. This big rear storage area, just like we saw up front, covered hinge, slam latch, magnetic catch. But take a look at that storage in the back. That is something that you just don't get a ton, again, in a travel trailer this size. Even with the bunks, you know, a lot of times they're over to the side and you just don't have that kind of storage. This is fantastic. You'll see cable and satellite inlets located on the back, right where you want them. This right here is solar prep, so if you want solar, simply buy the portable panels, plug it in right there. It's already pre-wired. It'll trickle charge your battery. And then coming around to the side, this is that same storage area, just a different access point. So you can see that, plenty of access to that rear storage compartment. Outside shower with hot and cold water access. You have your city water inlet here, black tank flush right in front of that, so you can quickly and easily wash out your black tank. You'll also see your 30 amp detachable power cord plugs right into there. And if you drop down below, you'll notice your termination with both your gray and black tank valves. Now, one of the things you will notice is even though this has a fully enclosed, insulated, and heated underbelly, your valves are not insulated. So, you know, this is probably not something I would recommend taking out in winter because your valves here can still freeze. But again, if it's a little bit cooler in fall, you'll probably be just fine. All right, folks, and that wraps it up. Again, this is the 2020 Sonic 211 VDB. If you're interested in this bunk model and you would like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description. Also, in the comments section, let me know what you think they nailed, what you think they missed, what maybe they need to tweak a little bit, or if you were designing this RV, what you would do. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.